When the 8 lousiest motorists in the entire country showed up here 3 episodes ago, we couldn't get over their bizarre perspective on the world. They'd run into things, then claim it wasn't their fault. To normal them up a little, we're invoking a zero-tolerance policy on all avoidable accidents here at the rehab center. If our students don't stop hitting things, their punishment will be severe. Who amongst them will perform well enough to graduate and get their keys back this episode? And who will ultimately be named Canada's worst driver?
To find Canada's worst drivers, we conducted a nationwide search, asking you to nominate friends and loved ones in need of a driving intervention. We began this series with 8 challenged motorists. Now we're down to the final 6. Shannon was nominated as Canada's worst driver by her friend Sarah, because in 3 years, Shannon's written off 5 cars.
Well, stop, Shannon, stop!
Worse than that, she's enjoyed every accident.
Oh.
Do you like it, hitting stuff?
Yeah?
Shannon needs to change her ways because she's 4 months pregnant.
I'm gonna have a child.
The next candidate is Michael. This over-analytical comic book fan was nominated by his friend, Eric. Michael has a few serious driving quirks. He holds his breath in tunnels.
Michael?
He parks by bumping into place. And when he's confronted by a tight spot, steering takes a back seat to comprehension.
Size does matter. The principles are the same, but the applications are not identical.
Our next nominee, Sean, was nominated by his niece, Milena, because he constantly drives like he's in a race.
Oh my God!
Online, Sean is a bona fide world champion NASCAR racer. He won the title in 2004.
Bugger!
To stay competitive, Sean treats real roads as video game training grounds.
Okay, 130, it's 80.
But look at how many cars I got by.
Sean has come to rehab trying to prove this unprovable point.
Speeding is safer.
Henrietta's next. She was nominated by her husband, Andy. Henrietta's afraid to accelerate.
Can I go?
She's afraid of lane changing.
Did that car go by yet?
And she's afraid of reversing.
I can't do this.
When we gave Henrietta an eye exam, though, her problem became clear.
I can't make it out, honestly.
She needs glasses.
What does this say?
I don't know. I can't read it. I can't read it.
You can't even see the signs until you get up on them.
The next candidate, Jody, lives with her husband, Sam, and their 2 children in Steinbach, Manitoba. It's a quiet life, unless Jody's driving. Green lights confuse Jody.
The light is green.
So it means what?
Intersections confuse her.
What does that mean?
And most of all, Sam confuses her.
Well, you didn't tell me what to do, and I was asking you now what?
Jody's learning to take control from her husband, but it's a long road.
Tightest those wheels as you can.
Quit.
Point.
Please quit pointing like that, please.
Okay, I won't do nothing.
The final nominee for Canada's worst driver is Colin. This defiant street racer was nominated by his unbuckled friend, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Colin is a recent graduate of a 2-year police foundations training course, yet he happily breaks highway laws at every opportunity.
Oh, God.
To slow him down, we've contacted his local police.
Just send an email and video clip to police officers where Colin drives.
And we've taken his keys. If he doesn't change, he won't get them back. The first of this episode's 3 challenges will demonstrate how delicately the nominees can brake and accelerate.
The water tank test is designed to teach our students the importance of smooth, fluid driving. The pipes that leave this tank drain out directly on the heads of this vehicle's occupants.
If they get the water sloshing like they did last year,
I love it, Mom.
This will be a lesson of torture.
to show it can be done, I'll run the course first.
If you lock up on the brakes, that water will all slosh.
So, ignore the honking moron.
But watch this guy.
When our drivers get through this frustrating section of rims, they reach our frightened pedestrian and arrive at our turnaround point where I pulse on the gas and pay the price. When When this construction worker lets our drivers into a lane of cars,
The tightest part of the course.
they are one turn away from the simulated garage.
And that is the water tank challenge.
Henrietta is the first to get sloshed. Our oldest nominee starts off perfectly,
Don't start yelling now.
but perfection erodes when the road rager steals her focus.
How do I turn the wipers on here?
Henrietta can barely see where she's going with a clean windshield. Her eyesight is 2100.
Oh, I hit that one.
That means what most people can see clearly from 10 meters,
You're gonna hit one.
Henrietta can only see from 2.
I don't know where I gotta go.
Henrietta owns glasses,
I'm hitting the mobile.
but she never wears them while driving.
You're supposed to be watching
I'm
it for
watching.
me.
Oh my God, I can't. I'm just drowned.
Henrietta doesn't see the signs of her vision crisis.
Oh my.
Can I go?
Yeah, stop right slow, please. Really slow, really slow.
I knocked a couple of things over.
Henrietta hit 7 obstacles and sloshed 300 of her 500 liters of water. Shannon's next to test her smoothness.
Slower.
Really?
Yeah.
As if she wasn't carrying a volatile cargo, Shannon tries accelerating to a normal speed.
That was me. That was the bouncy. That was the.
When the road rager appears, Shannon brakes suddenly. But the lesson doesn't soak in, because Shannon takes off only to slam on the brakes again. Wet, Shannon curses like a sailor gone overboard.
Excuse my language. Poopy face.
And she steers like a drunken monkey. Then our granny in purple pants
Hi there, buddy. Whoa!
has to run away from Shannon.
At least I didn't hit her.
Shannon shouldn't be proud yet.
Well, that. Now I sideswiped her.
She's not in the proper driving position. She's far too close to the steering wheel.
That's our head instructor, Scott Marshall. When Scott's not giving lessons, he's inside this control center along with the rest of our experts, evaluating every move Canada's worst drivers make. Juliana Chioviti is our high-speed expert. Marcus Adjaman deals with insurance issues, and Ontario Provincial Police Sergeant Cam Woolley is the law.
I really think if these guys don't learn something here, they're both going to be statistics.
At the end of every show, the experts and I decide which nominee deserves to graduate and return to public roads. Back on the Fluid Driving Challenge, Shannon's jerky driving style is now fully exposed.
I feel like I'm in a wet t-shirt contest.
It's most revealing to see that when things go bad for Shannon, she doesn't even look. Shannon hit 8 things. She needs to open her eyes.
That's like the best I've ever done.
When we come back, Jody's blinded by a tsunami.
I can't sing! Can't sing!
The most frightening motorists in the country are competing against each other, trying to avoid being named Canada's worst driver. Today, the 6 remaining candidates are learning the importance of fluid driving as opposed to jerky driving. Colin knows all about jerky driving. He basically refuses to make an honest effort.
I don't even care.
From day one, I've been begging Colin to
Make an attempt at becoming a safe driver.
I will. I'll try my best.
We've seen Colin try his best to get hit.
We were hoping you would reverse into us.
We've seen him try to double the speed limit.
Speed limit's 60. Now you gotta hold double the limit for 6 seconds.
And we've seen him try to impress women.
This is called innovation.
On the water tank challenge, Colin begins by making this promise.
I'm gonna float it at the end to get it soaked anyways, so.
Great! Colin's already bragging that he's not even going to try.
I just wanna step on it, man.
When the road rager appears, you have to wonder, is Colin trying right now? Is he trying right now?
Sorry, man.
Is he trying now? Succeeding in rehab requires wanting to change.
We're still doing better than everyone else, as far as I'm concerned.
But personal growth just doesn't seem to be on Colin's agenda.
I really want to knock these barrels over right now, I'm not gonna lie.
If Colin doesn't start making an honest effort, dramatic measures will have to be taken.
I would have liked to step on it in this thing, but save that for another day, I guess.
Save it for another day? What's that supposed to mean? Our video game champion, Sean, is next.
Oh my God.
When he sees the Cadillac,
The bathtub car.
Sean reinforces a stereotype about gamers.
I need a bath.
When Sean's on the highway, he likes to force slow drivers off the road.
Well, if I could just nerve this guy off the road.
Oh God.
Today, Sean's the slow driver, but he refuses to pull over.
You bugger!
Oh my God.
Sean drives like he's in a race,
We gotta cut the apex.
and he doesn't show any respect
I'm going too fast for the turn.
for the cargo he's supposed to be delivering. Sean's good enough to not knock the mirrors,
Touch the mirror, you're fine.
but Milena shouldn't put her fingers where they could be squashed. Milena is drenched.
And I am done.
Sean's chances of an early release are dissolving.
That's my best challenge yet.
No, it's not. It's the worst.
Jody's next. She came to rehab with zero confidence.
All I ask is if I can get some more self-esteem.
She needs a lot more self-esteem.
What am I doing?
Now what? When do I turn?
In the short time we've known Jody,
I can go, right?
we've seen her ask for advice
Now what? It's red.
1,208 times.
Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what?
Now what?
Jody is getting more self-esteem,
I'm quite pleased with my performance. I did fairly well.
and she is becoming a better driver.
Anything's possible.
But she has an awfully long way to go, and she doesn't really grasp that. On a scale of 1 to 10, Jody thinks she was a 2 when she arrived at rehab. And now?
You came in as a 2. Where are you now?
I would say about a 7 or an 8. I'm getting there.
Jody's driving ability between 1 and 10. Scott?
2.
That's the serious driving instructor. 2. Don't delude yourself and think you're a 7 or an 8. You got a long way to go, Jody.
Headed for their next challenge,
This is the water spilly one.
What do you mean water spilly?
Jody's husband doesn't help her confidence.
Sam. What do you mean water spilly?
When Jody forces the Cadillac into gear, she gets water spilly.
I told you. Don't brake hard.
The drivers that overreact are the ones that get in trouble.
Jody overreacts by speeding up.
Jody, don't floor it. Don't panic.
Can't see.
Wipers.
Jody drives blindly ahead,
Jody, don't panic.
afraid to touch the brakes.
She's in full panic mode.
She scares me.
Jody scares herself,
I'm so nervous.
and when she's nervous, her confidence melts.
I'm gonna hit these cars. I'm gonna hit these cars. I'm rubbing here so much.
Turn my way. When I say a little bit, you don't turn
I
the wheel
know,
60
but I'm rubbing. I'm
You're
caught.
turning the wheel my way somewhere. Why? Now you're gonna hit this car. Turn that way.
Gotta think on your own.
When Jody reaches the parking lot,
Just pull right in and stop.
the final 10 meters
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
take her a full minute.
Okay, you're done.
We think Jody's improving. Her husband doesn't.
She hasn't been rehabilitated yet at all. She's not done.
Mean thing to say.
So it's not a mean thing to
Listen
say.
to
It's the
me,
truth.
that
I'm not
you're-
going to say you're rehabilitated because you're not.
I'm not saying that I.
Then why
the way
are you
you
arguing
said
with
it.
me?
Jody and Sam are arguing because that's how they communicate, which of course is a big part of Jody's driving problem.
Well, it wasn't an insult.
Well, to me, I took it as being an insult. You should have said, I'm
Well, I
not there.
apologize
I'm
then,
on
and
my
I'll
way
change
to
my
be.
word.
Michael is the final person to drive the water tank mobile.
Oh, joy.
I once asked this comic book fan,
Who are you most like in the comic book world as a driver?
As egotistical as this may sound, Mr. Fantastic.
Why?
Because before he does something, he thinks it through and through and through until he is absolutely certain that he's doing the right thing.
Who is it in the comic book world that you would most like to become as a driver?
Batman. He's more of an improvisational thinker than I am.
Michael starts off like Aquaman.
Yolanda was smart. She made sure I had spare underwear in my pack.
I can see why.
When the road rager approaches, Michael drives into the deep end.
Whoa! We can't get any wetter.
This is true. I have been drier upon getting out of the swimming pool at home.
Michael needs to start driving more like Mr. Fantastic.
If he tries the Batman thing, I think there's going to be a lot of bam going on.
Pow. No. Well, at least that rim didn't go completely down.
When he gets through the rims, Michael approaches the mobile home
The Bahamas.
and is shocked by this character.
Whoa.
When Michael gets to the construction worker, he still hasn't learned to brake gently.
I am becoming exceptionally peeved.
And he's getting more cartoony by the second.
Let us beware of doors.
Yes, I fully expect one to go kersproing at any moment.
No doors go kersproing. But Michael's tires almost go kapow.
It's just rubber on rubber.
No, it's also mirror on mirror.
Oh, mirrors are designed to take that sort of misfortune.
When Michael pours himself into the final parking spot, he blames his jerky driving on physics. Water in motion wants to stay in motion.
Inertia's mean, isn't it?
Tell me about it.
After the break, Jody learns a new word, roundabout.
A roundabout's just a fancy thing for an intersection, Jody.
Well, how can it be a fancy name for an intersection when this is an intersection?
The lousiest car handlers in the country have come to our rehabilitation center for guidance. When they got here, a lot of them were downright cocky.
I think you're a good driver.
Oh, totally. Why are you a bad driver?
Heavens, no.
But after a dozen challenges, the remaining candidates are beginning to realize they're bad drivers.
Oh, you hit the box.
And they're beginning to worry they may never graduate.
I might be here to the end.
Shannon's kind of worried about being Canada's first driver. When I get home, I'm taking my license and I'm chopping them up and I'm never going to drive again.
The Driver Rehabilitation Center this year is bunkered down at Canadian Forces Base Borden, a massive military training facility that has all the trappings of a small town. The next challenge for Canada's worst drivers is to cruise around Borden following their speed limits and our directions.
Shannon is first to receive the list of 19 twists and turns.
Left between the two tanks?
If Shannon writes them down perfectly and then follows them perfectly, she'll be done in about 20 minutes.
And it says join roundabout and take your third exit.
If she's not finished in 40 minutes, we'll pull the plug.
The next direction is throw traffic lights, but I think you might have made through traffic lights.
When she reaches the last left before the golf course, she doesn't like the look of it.
That's not a paved road.
When she hears the upcoming direction is...
Just take paved road to left.
Shannon realizes this dirt road must be correct. Why else would we say the next road is paved? Shannon's also not fooled by this narrow strip of pavement.
It's like a bike path.
She also doesn't hit anything, and she doesn't curse. It's like Shannon is suddenly in a Disney movie.
Look at deer. That's cute. Hi. Oh.
Shannon's perfect run lasts all the way to the finish flags.
Nailed it.
Shannon really wants to graduate. Our expert video game racer, Sean, is next. When Sean came to rehab, he boasted his intention was to prove this point.
I want to show that speed is actually safe, and speeding is safer.
On today's navigation challenge, Sean races through the directions.
I think I got it.
Okay.
Very messy, but...
And heads off with cryptic notes.
It says left something something.
Sean goes twice around the roundabout.
No, this is it right here.
No, this is the second exit.
No, because that's the first one right there.
He takes random turns.
Doesn't say stop sign in.
Why he took that left, I have no idea.
And he drives 6 kilometers off course.
Are you sure that was right, Sean?
Pretty.
When Sean realizes he's lost, the speed freak within him takes over.
We're doing 50 in the playground zone, so I have no idea where he's off to now.
This is the same street we turned on to mistakenly before.
Yeah, look, he's taking off. He's doing 60 in this little residential zone. passing the 40 sign at exactly 50?
Speeding doesn't get you unlost.
When Sean gets to the dirt road, he slows down and does something our more conniving students often do.
I'm not worried about the time.
He begins saying things he knows we want to hear.
I'm gonna obey that stop sign.
When Sean reaches the finishing flags, he's comfortable with the fact that he went 50 in a school zone.
Well, it was progress compared to what I'm used to.
Progress can be too rapid. Sean is a case in point.
Don't speed past pictures of children where it says 40.
Gotcha.
Jody's in the hot seat next.
Pressure's not on.
Writing down the directions.
Just hang on a second.
Adjusting the mirrors.
Now those mirrors, how do I do that mirror?
And straightening her seat takes Jody 8 minutes.
What do? I just push back my seat?
No, you lift the lever and then move the seat.
Okay.
While adjusting her seat, Jody must be thinking about one particular instruction that she often gets from our teacher, Scott.
Keep looking ahead. Look ahead. Looking ahead. Look ahead. Look ahead. Look well ahead. Well ahead. Look ahead. Look ahead.
Jody's first direction is turn right at the stop sign. But she puts on her left blinker and looks way too far ahead.
You didn't even stop at the stop sign.
And it was a yield, wasn't it?
Jody is looking across the street at a stop sign that's not even facing her.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that stop sign there, Sam.
No, the one right here.
I seen the stop sign, but I didn't think it was here.
Well, where is it?
Before we started, I told Jody her third right turn will
take you to a roundabout?
But Jody wrote down
Right at a roundabout.
because of her incorrect note-taking.
Right at a roundabout, is that here?
Jody misses her turn. And to complicate things further, she doesn't know what a roundabout is.
Is this a roundabout?
A roundabout's just a fancy thing for an intersection, Jody.
Well, how can it be a fancy name for an intersection when this is an intersection? Well, maybe this is be a roundabout. Sam, you said something about an intersection. Would this be a roundabout?
Confused, Jody makes a 7-point turn and takes a roundabout route all the way back to the beginning.
Now they're on track. However, their instructions are still wrong because they wrote them down wrong.
Oh, I'm so totally mixed up and lost.
Jody's confidence is so shattered.
No, stop and ask for help.
She needs help just asking for help.
Okay, how do you ask for help?
That's like asking for the phone number to 911.
Okay, how do you ask for help?
When Jody understands the directions,
Thank you very much.
No problem.
she gets back on track
So I'm turning right.
and her confidence returns.
And then what was the next one?
Then immediate left.
The immediate left, okay?
How come now you're asking for directions ahead of the things you're doing?
Well, because I'm building my confidence.
Yeah, okay.
When Jody reaches the dirt road,
Something's wrong, Sam.
Drive.
her next instruction is to turn left at the paved road. This is not a paved road.
Now what do? Continue on this?
This is a bike path. You're not driving on the bike path.
No.
The bike path is barely 2 meters wide. For most people, that would be a significant enough sign. Jody, though, needs a real sign.
Yeah, it's a cycle path. It's just two bicycle paths. Okay, take paved road to the left. Okay, something is going to be paved road somewhere around here. Left at a paved road. And then anything here?
Is there anything paved?
No.
Jody does make it to the paved road, and she approaches the finishing flags with just 3 minutes to spare.
Do I go on this side? This is
You're gonna have to because the other side's barricaded.
I think now I'm starting to handle myself.
She's starting to, but she still asked for Sam's advice 53 times. When we come back, Henrietta loses her direction and temper.
Oh, you son of a...
Canada's Worst Drivers are performing a navigational challenge designed to drive home the importance of good note-taking. Michael is next to get directions. To write them down, Michael uses his trusty fountain pen and 9 of his 40 minutes.
I never learned how to write shorthand.
Neither did I, but people just write L instead of left.
Eric is all too familiar with how thorough Michael is.
When Michael's setting up for doing a task, he sets himself a mental checklist. Enter car, put on seatbelt, turn key, 3/4 turn, release. This is how methodical the checklist is.
On today's navigational challenge, Michael's perfect checklist is working out, well, perfectly. He makes the first 13 turns without a single hitch.
At this point, we're about 2/3 through the instructions.
Which is good.
Yeah, the last left before the club. This is not the last left before the golf club. I think there was another left.
I think you're right.
Michael quickly finds the correct left, but it's too dirty for his liking.
This is not paved.
You're right. It's
I
not
think we
paved.
had the right road in the first place.
I think we did.
Instead of trusting his perfect checklist, Michael is now making up information he was never told.
Because they definitely said it was a paved road.
Yep. And that is a road, but it is not paved.
So this was correct.
No, Eric, this is not correct.
I think we're off course.
I think we're lost, yeah.
Michael turns back to the dirt road for further analysis.
And what worries me is that there's a stop sign there, and this is only 1 lane wide.
In episode 1, Michael drove on his first gravel road, and he was very intimidated.
Anyone who thinks they can tear along a road like this is either a fool or in a remake of Dukes of Hazzard.
But today, on his first dirt road, Michael's driving like a rally car racer.
Yes.
Look at him go.
Yes.
Okay, slow it down or get out of the ruts.
I have this nagging suspicion that we've gone catastrophically wrong in our navigation somehow.
When Michael reaches the bike path, he is baffled.
Something is not making any sense at all.
That's not logical.
So he turns around.
We take a right at the stop sign. Then we should be at our flags.
Let us hope.
Hope, Michael, is not a strategy. Okay, everything is just going wonky now.
With less than 5 minutes remaining,
Can you guys hear me on the walkie?
I call Michael to get him back on track.
Michael, please stop. Oh, this is great. Now we have a lost driver and we're tailing them and their walkie-talkie is dead. Michael, stop.
I hear honking.
Yes, yes.
So do I, but I'm trying to determine who's honking.
Stop, Michael, stop.
Oh, looks like we're gonna have to do the dirt road again.
Zach, stop, stop.
Okay, maybe not.
For a guy who loves logic, Michael sure is illogical.
Impressive that you took the most thorough instructions, not that impressive that you didn't follow them.
Yeah.
Next to run the course is Colin. At the end of Colin's last challenge, he said,
I would have liked to step on it in this thing, but save that for another day, I guess.
so today we're a little concerned about what he might do. One thing Colin doesn't do is write down the directions.
Left between the two tanks. First quick right.
He captures them digitally on Jeremy's cell phone.
Gadget boy, he's going to let the phone do the thinking.
But being literate has its advantages. Each time Colin wants a new direction,
We redo this. Yeah.
Jeremy has to listen to the entire list all the way from the beginning.
Hold on, we're blocked traffic.
As a result, Colin misses the second turn.
Left? Left?
They're completely lost already, yet they don't even know it.
Jeremy listens to the directions again.
I think we gotta go over there. Yeah.
Head back.
Headed back to the second turn, Colin starts speeding.
We're gonna make this in 20 minutes, dude.
There's a speed limit of 60 on this road. They're doing 80 now.
When Colin gets back on course,
Cake, man, this is cake.
his cockiness is nauseating.
Can I get some tea with this piece of cake?
This road is 40 kilometers an hour. We're already doing 45 and we're accelerating. That's 50.
And that's Colin pulling away from me.
Think we could lose him? Maybe. That'd be sweet.
A real list of directions would be sweet.
Let me hear it one more time. Let me hear it one more time.
Due to technical difficulties,
Dude, let me hear it again. One more time. Dude.
Colin misses another turn.
I'd rather go back than get lost, so.
He does manage to find the dirt road, though.
Uh-oh, dirt road.
And on it, he bolts up to 70 kilometers an hour, 20 over the speed limit.
Make up some time on this road.
When Colin gets off the dirt road, he speeds up to 80, headed for a blind turn on this single-lane road.
He's trying to lose me.
When Colin reaches the end, he has to wait for my arrival.
Let's talk about going 80 in a 60 zone, 50 in a 40, and 70 in an unmarked back road.
Really? Yeah. I was trying to watch his speed.
That's a line Colin tells to us every time after he speeds.
But I don't think that was too fast there. I don't think we went too fast.
So why did you fly?
I didn't fly.
You just feel compelled to speed. It's almost pathological, huh?
To be honest.
To be honest, Colin has much bigger issues than driving. Henrietta's the last person to receive my directions.
Everybody else I made right out of these directions. I'm giving you our actual list.
Good, I don't have any glasses.
Wait, if Henrietta's sight is so bad she can't read a list, how is it that she's able to drive?
I'm just a little bit concerned before we start. When I handed you that list, you said that you didn't have your glasses on.
I don't need them for driving.
If Henrietta doesn't need her glasses, she should easily make her third turn between these two tanks. But Henrietta can't see the massive armored vehicles or the real road.
No, this is a parking lot. Okay, I think we made a mistake here.
Andy manages to convince Henrietta to turn back.
Now what am I going to do?
Okay, keep going here until we find the two tanks.
Is he kidding?
Hi, I'm lost.
Go left between the two tanks.
Yes, Leandro. I understand.
Don't get mad at me. I'm trying to help.
It's too late for that. Henrietta's already mad.
I'm going to go left right into the building. Right in there.
That's right there. No, we can't go that way.
Henrietta gets through the tanks,
Right here?
then gets stuck on the roundabout.
Here?
We can't be doing it right.
I got to do something.
Henrietta plays exit roulette and picks the wrong one.
We must be way off course here.
After 4 minutes of pointless driving, Andy convinces Henrietta to head back to the roundabout,
I'm going to lose it.
where she starts going loopy.
Where do I go?
This is the first exit.
I'm going around this
Just
way.
relax for a minute.
I can't stop in the middle of the road, Andy.
No, just...
Oh! Drive me nuts.
Maybe he should be driving her van. When Henrietta makes it to the dirt road,
Andy.
Oh, just back up.
she wants nothing to do with it.
I hate this.
So she goes somewhere else and refuses to try again.
Just did that.
Okay, well, let's go back and do that again. Back up. Back
Do
up.
what?
Take that dirt road.
You son of a...
Henrietta does wish she had her glasses, but only her reading glasses.
Where I'd get some kind of glasses I could wear and do my own. Do my own navigating.
When we come back, our bear gets a fishtail in the mouth.
Watch Mose at the Movies every Sunday. Look for the clue.
How wide can your vehicle safely swerve if it's traveling 60 kilometers an hour? Do you have any idea? What if the road is wet? Or if it's made of gravel? Or even mud? The next challenge for Canada's worst drivers is to swerve and avoid on a variety of different road surfaces. There'll be some braking too.
This is a 3-stage challenge. Drivers will have to skid and swerve on sloppy mud, dry gravel, and asphalt covered in a mysterious substance.
Mud and gravel is similar to what we'd find in some snow or icy conditions.
So up to 60.
Going 60k an hour on wet dirt, you can make an ugly but safe turn within 9 meters. The trick is to skid in a straight line until you've slowed down enough for the vehicle to get traction. On mud, that means dropping your speed down to at least 20k an hour before releasing the brake and steering back to the open road. To handle a sharp turn on dry gravel, you can't be going faster than 15 kilometers an hour. Drivers will hit these stones going 40, so they'll have to do a 9-meter-long skid before easing off on the brake and steering to safety. The final chapter of this challenge is to come around a blind corner at 30 and then stop before hitting this hidden wall of boxes.
Whew.
Jody will swerve first.
I feel nervous. I always go slow on gravel roads because of my fear of swerving.
Jody believes if she swerves, she'll flip over.
That gravel will take you, you got no control, and over you go.
When rehabilitating drivers, it is crucial that they try their hardest. Jody certainly does that.
Okay, I can do this. 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 I'll do this. I can 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 do this.
When Jody takes off toward the mud, she panics, and what she can't do is see where she's going.
Where am I going? Where am I going?
Jody's going into the far side ditch.
Well, that didn't go so well.
When Jody slams on the brake, she does correctly turn the steering wheel, but she never lets off on the brake. As a result, she simply skids too far.
Naturally, when you brake in any sort of instant, you know, you're taking all your momentum, it's going up to the front tires. If you keep all that weight on, you're naturally going to go straight. You want to release a little bit and carry on.
On her brake and swerve on dry gravel, it's a similar story, except worse.
Oh, mama dear.
This time, Jody starts skidding much too late, and she lets go of the steering wheel. When she heads off for her swerve around the Winnebago, Jody's wide enough to see the wall of boxes early, and this time she brakes correctly, but thinks she didn't.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
Jody's self-esteem is sputtering on empty.
I think we got a lot of work to do with her.
Out of control emotions means an out of control driver.
Henrietta's next. When Henrietta attacks the mud course, she skids straight through without even trying to regain control.
Not much swerving.
Henrietta never released the brake. When Michael takes his run at the mud, he doesn't get up to 60.
Go, 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 go.
I am going.
And he hits the boxes. Sean gets up to 60 and then some before he dramatically fails this challenge and thinks he's been set up.
I don't think that could be done.
Of course it can be done, and Shannon shows us how.
Look where you want to go. Go, 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 go.
If Shannon aces this, she could be our next graduate. Without missing a beat, she whips back up to 40 for the skid and turn on gravel. She almost makes it, but as she's regaining traction, Shannon gives the rear-wheel drive Camaro a big pulse of gas, and its rear end swings around, knocking our poor bear's head off.
She was too fast to the gas right there. Fishtailed and she lost control.
Sean's next. He bears down on the gravel turn with the focus and flair of a professional stunt driver. Maybe Sean will be our next graduate. Michael might not have Sean's flair.
I'm going.
But he also gets through the gravel skid and turn correctly. Perhaps Michael will get his keys back this evening. When Henrietta takes her charge at the gravel, she's driving so slowly, her skid stops her before she even reaches the turn. So she stomps on the gas and loses control again.
Oh,
Jeepers indeed. Swinging into the blind turn, Henrietta doesn't have the courage to go 30. By the time she rounds the corner, she's already finished. Like Henrietta, Michael also takes the turn slower than 30.
I think I may have messed up.
Sean takes the blind turn going faster than 30, and he doesn't have time to stop before the wall of boxes.
What am I going to here?
So he makes a last-second swerve to safety.
Ooh.
Watch again. Scott tells Sean to let off on the gas.
No pedals, no pedals.
But Sean tunes him out.
Under pressure, I would tune out God himself.
Wait a sec. Sean says he drives better under pressure. When Shannon comes around the final corner, she's a little out of control, which is enough to do a lot of damage. Shannon flunked swerve school, but thinks she did great.
I kick ass.
When we come back, Colin takes a run at the skid and swerve course, and someone graduates.
What am I going to here?
5 of the 6 remaining nominees for the title of Canada's worst driver have already run our swerve course, and not one of them did it correctly. If Colin goes through perfectly, he'll be our next graduate.
Actually do it. Let's do it.
Graduate.
All right.
Okay? Have a good run.
You too. Be safe.
Headed for the mudslide, Colin seems more intent on posing than on driving. When he hits the mud, he lets go with his right hand and tries swerving with just his left. Let's watch that again. Colin is so focused on his one-handed swerve, he doesn't hit the brakes until he's between the boxes, so his momentum carries him right off the road. Colin is an experienced off-road driver, so this smells sort of fishy.
Yeah, he's terrible.
He's not trying.
Now, is that intentional or is that... I don't think it was.
Look ahead, look ahead.
When Colin hits the gravel, he swerves back and forth straight into the boxes. It's another suspicious accident. In slow motion, you can see Colin steering toward the boxes before he skids. When he locks up the brakes, he steers to the right, then turns back to the boxes. It's like he hit them on purpose.
Being an idiot again.
When Colin speeds toward the final corner, he's supposed to take a 30. Scott tells him to slow down.
Off gas.
But Colin doesn't slow down. And when he sees the wall of boxes, he speeds up.
Sweet.
Sweet? This guy's not a bad driver. He's a vandal.
Didn't see the wall of boxes?
I did.
And you hit the gas?
Yeah.
That's in the heat of the moment. But 10 minutes later, Colin says this.
I wouldn't just see boxes and step on the gas and say, well, let's take these out. It doesn't work like that, no.
So then, what exactly happened?
What happened was I came around the corner, I was accelerating, I still accelerated, and I blanked out.
He blanked out?
I kind of blanked out just for a second, and before I knew it, I'd hit the boxes. And if you don't want to believe that, I don't care. Jeremy will back me up. Sometimes I'll blank out just for a second. Jeremy, can you not back me up that happens?
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it happens from time to time. I'll just blank out. I blanked out for a second, and that's what happened.
That's not what he told me.
You come around the corner, you saw a wall of boxes, and then you gave it gas.
Was he lying to me?
Maybe I did lie. Maybe I said, oh, I tried to hit the brakes, and I didn't. I'm a human being, Andrew.
So once and for all, let's hear the real story.
I blanked out for just a second. I went fuzzy for just maybe half a second. Before I knew it, I was through those boxes. And if you choose to believe that or not, that's your choice, but I really don't care.
Would you choose to believe Colin if you were Cam Woolley? Last episode, Sergeant Woolley learned Colin often gets out of speeding tickets by lying to police.
But I usually just say, oh, I'm late for a test for my police foundations course.
Colin says he tells that lie because
I don't think cops are the smartest people out there. The smartest people out there. The smartest people out there.
today, when Colin takes the hot seat, he tries to dazzle Sergeant Woolley with his clever blank-out story.
Frustrated, and I blanked out for a second.
If you're going to convince me now that you blanked out, then I don't think you should have a license.
First time it's ever happened.
But you're telling me for sure you blanked out? Should you be under a medical driver's license suspension? You fed us the same crap in episode 3. You're doing it again.
When Colin leaves, he makes a phone call and gets busted by some of our stealth surveillance devices.
I happened to overhear Colin talking on his cell phone.
He was bragging that he was kind of faking them.
He said that he got them back. He busted up the windshield on the BMW and he ran it through the boxes. He sounded just absurdly proud of himself for having wrecked the car.
Now speculation is rampant about Colin's ranking as Canada's worst driver.
I really do think he will be labeled Canada's worst driver.
Final 3, here you come. Reserved slot for Colin.
I don't think he's going to be going home.
I want to go home.
There's a good chance that we'll be here, the two of us, fighting it out to see really who is the worst driver.
I hear something. What's that sound? It sounds like keys. Oh, that's Andrew bringing me my keys back.
It is time for the experts and I to decide who has improved enough to get their keys back and graduate. After half an hour of deliberation, we've got a hung jury.
Sean, Michael.
Sean, I'm saying Sean.
I'm Michael.
Sean.
Who do you think?
Michael.
Again, it's like I have the sway vote, and I have an idea.
We've reached the end of our 4th episode here at Canada's Worst Driver, which means it's time for someone to get their keys back and drive home. It takes a very special kind of person to graduate from this establishment, a tough person. Jody knows that. Michael does too. But the person who will be getting their keys back this week is Colin. But Colin, before I give it back to you, I do want to say this to you. Driver rehabilitation centers just like this one have existed now for 5 years. We operate in 9 different countries. And in the entire history of us doing this program, no one has ever been expelled from our educational course. Woohoo! You, sir, are expelled. Jimmy, come in here. There's your key back. I'm afraid we can only help people who want to help themselves, and you clearly came here without any intention of learning anything.
So, we're sending Colin and his vehicle back home to his mom's house where they belong.
You can get in your ride, and Jeremy, you can go with him. Colin is not Canada's worst driver, but he is the most immature.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Colin came to rehab without any intention of becoming a better driver.
Wow, you're so cool.
He pulled in, wanting to show the world exactly what kind of person he really is.
How fast are you going on the dirt road?
Buck 20.
And how fast is the speed limit?
I think it was 60. We're doing about double today.
50, 60, yeah.
We thank Colin for his honesty, What he's done is a valuable public service.
See, this is what I like. I like driving at a normal speed of like 150, 160. What are laws, really?
Colin proves our most important point. Namely, safe driving requires extreme focus at all times. You can't just be concerned with yourself. Sadly, you also have to be ready to avoid potentially lethal street racers like this ignorant, self-absorbed 20-year-old. Let's all hope Colin loses his license before his life.